there, family of light, beloved Ascension pioneers. I'm making a short video before my light activation, which I'm going to post tonight before the full moon. It's happening at 5 a.m. basically tomorrow here in Slovenia, but wherever it is in your end of the world, I'm wishing you a beautiful, happy harvest moon. This is a harvest moon. It brings a lot of potential, and everyone right now is saying how powerful this full moon is. So I hope you will use its energies and potential for your highest growth and evolution as well, so that you may reach your highest potential as well. And I will help my own way as well through provided light activation meditation, which will be all about the love, bringing and anchoring love back, the love of the Divine Mother, which is what I was speaking about yesterday. That great twin flame essence within each and every one, that means the love of creation as to how we were truly created, to anchor that love, the essence love, the source love back here. And I'll do this tonight after the interview. At 7 p.m. today, I'm being interviewed by Robert Davis, a beautiful shining soul on Light Transitions Radio. I think I pronounced it in the wrong way yesterday. But anyway, it will be my first video interview, and I don't think I'll be able to stay serious because I just laugh when I see that beautiful person called Robert. And I hope it will be a wonderful interview and that the Spirit will guide us to go wherever it takes us, because Spirit guidance is always unpredictable, and it's always in the now, and it's always what we need, not what we want, right? I want to discuss a few insights before making my light activation tonight. That's why I was guided to make a short video as well on some topics that really were flowing around me lately through Spirit that I feel are important for me to address here in my videos for all those who are ready to hear about these things. Because, then I'm already to the next chapter, off to the next chapter, and then I forget, to speak about what was in me previously. So there's so much right now, and I don't know if I can make as many videos as I anchor new awarenesses and new realizations, but I'll try to go with the flow. And I know that you guys probably can watch all the videos as well. So feel free and feel guided to watch whatever is drawing your attention and whatever resonates. And always take what is in resonance with your own heart space, because that is what you need to hear. Sometimes we all wish to know so much and get all the answers, but sometimes we're not ready for everything. Not everything is meant to come into our presence. Sometimes we might even wish to force things, But the thing is, I've been writing today on my webpage, on my Facebook page, about really letting go, because a lot of the people ask me about their personal things, and it's like they're not willing to trust that they're exactly where they need to be. And that is why I wrote today about really letting go. But really, the major lesson of humanity is to trust, once again, that divine force, that divine perfection of everything. And we can only truly reside in that space through oneness, through understanding the principles of oneness. And I'll explain a bit about this, okay? I think I need to address this first. Today I received this certain email from a person that was very judgmental, kind of harsh. Once again, it was not coming from a place of the higher, it was coming from a place of assumption. And you probably all have this in your life as well, and you're wondering why this happens, but at the same time, it's good, because then the actual truths can be shared with those individuals who are not yet enlightened on a certain degree about certain things that come through Spirit. The thing is, the principle of oneness was addressed. Why I so often talk about me and what I do and what I'm being guided to do, because oftentimes people send me all sorts of material of their own and want me to read everything and, be a part of their projects. But sometimes, I just have to say no to them, because I have to listen to my own spirit, have to stay true to myself, because you have to know how I live is basically, I don't have a life of my own. Basically, I less and less, but it's not a bad thing. I'm kind of noticing that I'm becoming this instrument of the divine. It's like all the stories that people tell me about themselves, all the things they share, it's like they're one with me. I get to live their own stories, I get to live their own feelings, and I get to experience everything, but through compassion, which is a state of neutral observation and just shedding love on that matter and on their lives and just being present. And I feel so many people feel that gratitude to be able to feel embraced by my love and by that greater love that pours through me, actually. It's not coming from me as a persona. So I feel what is happening, I need to follow it because it's my own purpose. And when you say mine, that's not coming from the ego, because, the concept of oneness that was shown to me, that was tried to be kind of forced upon me today via this email, was not really understood from the highest levels. Because you need to know, humanity cannot understand oneness before understanding your own self and becoming whole. There is no oneness, there is no union without the completion and wholeness within each and every one of us. That means you got to know your purpose, you got to know yourself, you got to know why you're here, what you're doing. There is no other way. You know, a lot of people think that oneness means that, for instance, me, Puluna, being so connected to so many people and so many things in the world, I'll be now jumping into everyone's projects and doing everyone's thing and being a part of it. I will be a part of it by reading about it, by sharing my energy and gratitude towards what everyone else is doing on their level and what they came here to do by their own soul decree and arrangement. But the thing is, I need to stay true to me. I need to know myself, what spirit is guiding me towards. And that is not spirit guidance, you know, guides that are coming somewhere externally. That's my own higher self guiding me directly from my I am presence. And my way is to show you the way, to remember the way that is always within you anyway. It's there as well. You're also way showers, but you have to remember the way from within. So that means first staying true to yourself, remembering why you're here. Because a lot of the people still think that oneness comes from comparison. Oneness does not come from comparison. There is no oneness without diversity. There is no oneness in creation without individuality, without the individualization of the spirit into fractions and different formats, different fragrances, so to say. And that makes the whole, that makes the completion. And there is no oneness without it. So everyone in this equation needs to become a complete and full aspect of their own self to their own I am presence. And that is why I'm here, to guide people into their connection with their higher self, which is a direct link to your I am presence. And I made a wonderful post. I shared it on my Facebook profile. All those of you who are connected to me via Facebook, you can go check it out. It's a beautiful writing on what the higher self actually is and how many have lost this connection and how the guidance within the angelic realms is assisting, you know, us with the veils getting a lot thinner so we can have an easier access to that. And because I have that access, I know myself so deeply that no one who comes my way can convince me otherwise, because I'm so true to this, because the voice is truly so strong and is of the spirit. The voice of the ego is never so strong. It's kind of like, maybe, maybe not. It's kind of this indecisive little wounded child that does not always know. But your higher self, your I am, is always eternally knowing, knows everything without understanding, without convincing, without validation. It just is. And it has that deep source knowing. So without us first fully knowing and understanding our own source, our own variation of creation, our own beautiful unique ray, why we're here, there is no oneness. That is why I always say this era is also an era of individuality. And I was watching like a year ago videos from Matthias Di Stefano, I think. He's from, where's he from? I don't know. Southern America somewhere. And he's an indigo child who gives reference to the Akashic records of humanity. And he also said that this new age, the Aquarian age, is basically the age of individuality, because everyone will have to go within and do their own self. And I'm like, yeah, I resonate 100%, because there is no oneness without individuality. Because you see, variation is so fragmented, it is so unique, so diverse. And we each have to understand our own fraction. So a lot of the people have this wrong tendency because they perceive oneness on the lower levels and they don't understand what it is. They think that everyone will be doing the same thing and the same conglomerate of all that is, but it's not true. Because when I look at what other people do, I can only share gratitude for that and for their variation of creation and for their unique connection that they have with Source through what they do, and for them coming into realization of what they do. And this means self-realization. There is no oneness without self-realization. Whoever is not yet self-realized, meaning connected to their own source self, cannot have a full concept of oneness, cannot then become oneness. You got to become whole to become a part of oneness. So there is no knowledge and true understanding that comes from the I am presence of oneness if you still reside in the lower ego realms. There will not be provided for you until you reach that godly levels of your source nature, okay? So this is what I really am guided to speak about on oneness, because a lot of the time, you know, people, when you will say, I cannot be a part of this, will come from their ego, because they will feel like their essence was denied. But it was not denied. You cherish what they do, although you cannot do the same thing and in equal amounts, because you have to stay true to you, what you do. And people sometimes think, how, that person is not within unity because they only think about themselves. It's not true. Being true to yourself is not only thinking about yourself, it's listening to your God source. There would not be a variation of creation. Everything would be just one dot of light if that would not exist. So like I said, there is no oneness without this basic of principle of variation of creation and diversity and uniqueness. And like Matthias D. Stefano said, it's an age of individuality. And through that individuality, we will each, who's ready, will become source realized, will become self-realized. And then we can bring about the new age, the age of the whole, the age of oneness. Oneness is a concept that is not just a concept, it is so beyond. It is beyond what basic human minds right now on this level of awareness understand. What a lot of the times people who are not even residing within oneness cannot preach oneness. Like if you don't come from love, you cannot preach love. You got to become love embodied. With that concept, I'm also guided to share something else. It's this beautiful concept that I received when I was making a circle around my meadow last week. I call these my meditation walks, and I was pondering on people who still reside with an ego and sometimes self-gratifying actions. For instance, people who will donate a lot of money to feel good about themselves, but then do other actions that are not really fully aligned with that beauty of love, that do not come from grace of God and Goddess. So I was thinking about how these actions kind of balance themselves out. For instance, I had a friend, sometimes she was really nice to me, but at other times she showed complete face of ego. So then I asked Spirit, okay, so how does this play out in the dynamics of equalizing itself out? Some people will call this karma, but it's not basically karma. Although what you do judge, for instance, what that person judges about me, they will have to experience themselves what they judge. You eventually will get served right in your face, not because it's a judgment thing, because it's the natural law of equalizing everything out, because of the balance, because the soul needs to learn about all. So the souls who judge something on a personality level, they will eventually be presented with the same experience, maybe in a different form, but the energy of what is behind that lesson, of what is behind that judgment will have to be learned. So you get it right served in your face anyway. So be careful what you judge, okay? Become neutral, because this is who you truly are anyway. You're pure love, and that's neutrality towards all. It's just embracing everything as it is. It's not forcing anyone to walk your path. It's blessing everyone's path and understanding that everyone's path serves the greater path of the wholeness and oneness, you see. So I was thinking about these balancing acts and about the vibration that is predominant. And the answer that was given was something that I already knew on my own personality level, was that basically if we give actions that are really good, but sometimes people who do that and still reside predominantly in the ego vibration, they will do it for the self-gratification. So they feel, I'm so good, I do this for others, I'm really good. And this is the difference. If someone will just serve without any expectation, just give out because they just are becoming a vessel of love, that is something completely different. So when someone is doing that, and at the same time, that same person, for instance, they're nice to a friend, at the other moment, they will stab the knife right into their back and be really mean towards them and say things to them that before, they were never saying. They were always like nice and sweet. And the predominant vibration of that person will always be mirroring their lowest actions. Because, have you ever heard of the show, I think it was called The Weakest Link? That has very deep meaning and purpose within it. The weakest link, the energy of the weakest link within you will be your predominant vibration. So whatever is still not purified within you, because we're all going through the grand purification, and all the astrologers speak about it as well, which is mirrored in the stars and the planets and the entire galaxy and beyond. We're going through that. And whatever is still your shadow will be your predominant vibration. Even though you're not aware of it, it will somehow manifest things in your life to unfold a certain way for you to realize and start embracing this shadow through love. So shadow is just something that was not yet illuminated with that light of the truth. I always say that. It's not something that is a separate thing or something to be fearful of. You actually get to know your shadow through your light, and you get to know your light through the shadow. It's basically all the same. So all the principles within polarity are always the thing that is one the same. Female, masculine, one and the same. Two sides of the same coin. So you see individuality, oneness, two sides of the same coin. There is no one without the other, and that is how Source creates. That is why there is such a vastness of creation. So you have to think about that. What are still things in your life that are mirroring something to you that is not of complete light, of complete unconditional giving and wanting to serve and being really nice and humble and really serving for the purity of service itself, and not, doing something nice and then doing something that was really not kind to another, and then thinking, the other thing will balance that out anyway, because it won't. Because it's numered in your soul records, and the lowest vibration will show. So for instance, someone who might say, I really feel I'm in the fifth dimension, although their actions will not be placed mostly focused on service, and their attention will always be placed to really always be there for someone, always be there, available for assistance, always showing kindness no matter what. Their predominant vibration will not be the fifth dimensional awareness, because the fifth dimensional awareness, for instance, is pure heart. And to conclude that, I would like to read this paragraph from Diana Cooper's books, The Keys to the Universe. And the first chapter, because I haven't gone past it, like the second chapter, because I was working, being of service so much this week, and I guess Spirit just wanted that to be more dominant that week, so I guess it's all as it should be. But it's about the hollow earth and the energy, and I like this. I won't read everything, I just read the part that I think really fits into what I'm saying. When they speak about the hollow earth and the surface, that's what they say. The surface of earth should be a mirror of the center. All aspects of nature, which is seventh dimensional in the middle of the earth, can be the same on the surface. We can access it through our roots, through the earth star. That is the chakra. We have always been told, as above, so below. This is what we are aiming for. Everything we need to know can be found in hollow earth, but few can touch its pure, precious light without abusing it. It is so important and powerful that we must prepare ourselves for the possibility. And then there was a message coming from Archangel Sandalphon given to the ladies, and this was also said amongst the entire message. There are many on the surface who will never and must never touch and feel this energy, because the energy is like everything that ever is written there. The subtle things that people who are only focusing on the scene are not aware of. So it says, they will not understand it and could snuff it out in an instant. Many people will feel it but never understand it. There are some who have the vision and memory, sound and vibration to breathe with hollow earth, so with all the records, with all of energy of life and creation. They can move through hollow earth and out to the planets and beyond. It is these people who will transform the surface into a gentle, calm, tranquil, warm, loving place. So basically, I think what is also mentioned here is people who are the same in the inside that they are on the outside. And a lot of people who present themselves a certain way on the outside, their inside is not the same. When you become a complete embodiment of as above, so below, and as within, so without, you become one with the divine will. You become the complete chalice for that source energy to flow through. And this is all that I wanted to speak about before going out and having my interview in the evening, and then doing the beautiful light activation for all of us. Anyway, remember, there is only unity in uniqueness, and there's only oneness when there's also a complete understanding of your individualized I am presence within all that is. Take care, my beautiful pioneers, and I'll talk to you soon. Love. Bye.